June the 9th, grasses. In June, the pollen count increases as more and more grasses come into flower, particularly towards the end of the month when grasses seem to be suddenly in flower everywhere. 3 more common fescues can now be found, 2 of which are so tall they always seem to get noticed. The giant fescue, Festuca gigantea, can reach 1.5 meters in height, and the tall fescue, Festuca arundinacea, even taller at 2 meters. Giant fescue is usually found in shady spots in damp woods where its long, delicate, drooping flower heads stand out. Tall fescue is more usually seen as large, coarse tussocks of grass at the sides of roads. It has virtually no hair-like awns compared with the long ones on giant fescue. One other fescue likely to be seen is the meadow fescue, Festuca pratensis, which is like a smaller version of the tall fescue, except with narrower leaves, and it is found in meadows. Fescues are difficult to identify accurately in the field, not least because they often hybridize. In the case of meadow fescue, it will even hybridize with ryegrasses. The most disliked grass in London has to be couchgrass, Agrippyrum repens, due to it being such a persistent weed and almost impossible to eradicate from gardens. Because of its notoriety, unlike most grasses, it has been given other names such as twitch, switch, and quitch. Couchgrasses are often confused with ryegrasses, Lolium species, but can usually be told apart by their more widely spaced flowers or spikelets. In couchgrass, as much as 1/3 of their stem are made up of short, flattened spikelets with no awns, arranged alternately in 2 rows. It is ubiquitous in London, but not 2 other couchgrasses. The bearded couch, Agrippyrum caninus, is occasionally seen in chalky areas. It has long awns helping to identify it, and sea couch, Agrippyrum pungens, which is much more likely to be seen along the banks of the Tyne, and it is slightly blue in colour. Field crops of barley are easily to recognise due to their long so-called beards or awns, and bent stems as compared to the more rigidly upright fields of wheat and rye. Wild barleys, Hordeum species, are very like miniature versions of the barleys we see growing as crops. The 2 most common in London is the wall barley. The most common in London is wall barley, Hordeum marinum, which can be found everywhere on wet waste ground. It has the typically densely compressed flattened flower head, or spike of barleys with 2 rows of spikelets, all with long projecting awns. Another similar-looking barley, but found in damp meadows, is likely to be the meadow barley, Hordeum secalinum. When mature, the spikes of this barley tend to be brittle and easily fall off, getting attached to our clothes. If a piece is placed inside the cuff of a coat sleeve, in quite a short space of time, it can migrate, unaided, up to the shoulder of the coat. Their stiff awns allow this to happen, which explains why cattle do not eat barley, as it can cause blockages in their guts. In shady woods, wood melick, Melica uniflora, is getting noticed more as it comes into flower along the sides of paths. Its tufted leaves remain green all year, but now its spreading flower heads, made up of branches of different lengths and small numbers of awnless spikelets, catch our attention. It has an attractive, delicate look, so much so that gardeners plant it in deep shade where little else will grow. Another type of grass with only a single member present in London is crested hairgrass, Coleria micrantha. It looks a little like a foxtail or cat's tail grass, except much more silvery in appearance. With its narrow, downy sea-green leaves, it may be found in chalky districts. Another individual grass worth looking out for in June is the fern grass, Catapodium rigidum. For once, it is a small grass, 15 centimeters, easy to identify with its stiff stems and rigid, flattened flower heads, which are very reminiscent in shape of a young fern frond. It can be found on bare sand or near walls, especially in East London, and can be grey-green, purplish, or even reddish in colour. The only wheat we tend to see in London are the fields of wheat occasionally grown around its periphery. This is likely to be bread wheat, Triticum aestivum, which has solid, upright, hollow stems with broad grains on 4-sided flower heads. Wheat is believed to be the first grass ever cultivated by man. It was probably a Middle Eastern species, which was selected again and again for larger and larger grains. The result is that there are now thousands of different cultivars of bread wheat, some even with different colours of grain. We tend to just notice it occasionally where seed is possibly spilt beside roads or in gardens, where it is sometimes grown for flower arranging. Two attractive places to look for grasses this month are Totteridge Fields, where up to 10 different species can be found, and a hay meadow in Yedding Brookfields, which boasts 17 different species. For the enthusiast, a walk on Walthamstow Marshes is the best place, having 45 different species, hybrids, varieties and casuals.